You are watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. We continue with our coverage of potentially deadly Hurricane Florence, which is now headed towards the northeast and the Atlantic coast, Carolinas, potentially Virginia as well.
Right. Let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with the latest on that storm and the first alert forecast. Bob?
From the National Hurricane Center, this is the latest indicating that this is a rapidly intensifying system, and it's more than likely going to get very close and possibly go over into a Category 5 hurricane on Tuesday. And on top of that, the wind field is starting to expand now considerably, with tropical storm force winds extending well over 100 miles from the center, and that's only going to get larger as the system progresses off to the northwest. Top winds now are up to 140 miles an hour. It is moving to the west-northwest, so it's got a little bit more of a northwest turn to it now as opposed to the westerly flow it had been moving at all day today. And the pressure at 939 millibars. The forecast path and track take it well below Bermuda. Category 4 tomorrow, right about a Category 5 though, so intensity forecast very difficult. I would not be surprised to see this turn into a 5 on Tuesday. And look at all the room it's got to gather water near its center. So storm surge is going to be extreme with this system. We're talking 15, possibly even higher as far as the storm surge goes from the center and to the right of the center. And that's at 185-mile-an-hour wind, so it may weaken a little bit. It goes through stages as it gets stronger. Sometimes it can't maintain that speed, and so it will actually develop a secondary eye wall. When that happens, the wind field expands, and that means more people will have an impact. Power outages expected to be widespread throughout this region on Thursday and Friday. There it is at Thursday with gusts up to 165 miles an hour, just as expected to make landfall. And then even inland, top winds will be up to 60 miles an hour near Raleigh. And that definitely will cause power outages all throughout central sections of North Carolina and into Virginia. As I mentioned, the shift has been a little bit off to the right, too, the latest forecast track. And that's a result of a tropical system trying to develop in the Northwest Caribbean, indicating that the high-pressure ridge may not be as strong. And so a very devastating storm. Rainfall, I think, is going to be the big story with this as well. We're talking rainfall rates well above 3 inches per hour. On top of that, it's going to be sitting around here for at least 2 days, it looks like, before eventually it starts to take off to the northeast. So catastrophic flooding likely. There's a system that has a 50% chance developing. News is, though, it's moving off to the northwest. Florence, we have Isaac, which is expected to blow up before it hits the islands. It stays as a Category 1 storm and then get kind of blown apart, I should say, by strong winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere in the Caribbean. Well, more in our forecast, and take a look at these storms coming up a little bit later. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. In advance of Hurricane Florence, officials are warning people to begin preparing now for what they're calling a potentially catastrophic storm. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more.
More than 1 million people are now under evacuation orders as Hurricane Florence takes direct aim for the Carolinas.
We do know that we're in the bullseye.
This is a very dangerous hurricane.
NASA shows the massive storm from above, its eye now well-defined, swirling across the Atlantic, picking up speed and gaining strength. It's already a Category 4 with sustained wind speeds near 130 miles per hour.
This storm is strong, and it's getting stronger.
The governors of North and South Carolina, as well as Virginia and Maryland, are declaring states of emergency and activating hundreds of National Guard troops.
Our best defense is good preparation.
Evacuations are underway along the Carolina coast as people begin setting up sandbag stations, preparing for the coming onslaught of high winds, rains, and storm surge. For now, the beach is calm, but locals know with a forecast like this, that peace won't last.
That's calm before the storm.
As we wait for Hurricane Florence, airlines are getting out ahead of this storm, and many of them, like American and Southwest, are already offering travel waivers for passengers. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, exactly 1 year ago, most of Sarasota and Manatee counties were hunkered down in their homes or shelters as Hurricane Irma ripped through our area. The Suncoast still feeling the storm's physical and financial impact. Both Sarasota County and the city are waiting to get reimbursed millions of dollars from Irma, with the bulk of that cost coming from debris collection. Sarasota County says it's waiting to get FEMA's review on the cost of projects like road repairs. The city is also having problems getting reimbursed for employee overtime costs since many employees hit their 40 hours after that storm was over.
It becomes complicated trying to sort those things out and to understand, we're not always going to get reimbursed for everything from FEMA.
Coming up tonight on ABC7 News at 7, we'll share how much Sarasota County and the city are waiting to get back in disaster assistance funding. And just a reminder, we have all kinds of information on our website to help you prepare for hurricanes. Just go to mysuncoast.com. Under the Weather tab, you'll find a link to our 1-hour hurricane special, Surviving the Storm. Also, a printable 2018 hurricane guide. Scott?
In other news, a longtime CBS chief executive Les Moonves is stepping down. His resignation comes after new claims of sexual misconduct. Moonves has admitted he may have made some women uncomfortable, but he insisted he ultimately respected that no means no. One of Moonves' accusers speaking out earlier today.
Right after he appeared naked, he came running into my office and did this whole thing about that I didn't send a memo to anybody, and then he picked me up and threw me against the wall. I mean, I just lay on the floor and cried. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen to me.
Moonves stands to earn upward of $100 million on his way out, although part of that money could go towards the Me Too movement. After his resignation was announced last night, CBS and Moonves pledged $20 million to organizations that support women in the workplace.
Congressman Ron DeSantis announcing today that he is resigning his seat immediately. The Republican says he will put all his energy into his bid to become Florida's next governor. In a letter to House Speaker Paul Ryan, DeSantis wrote that, quote, it would be inappropriate for him to accept a House salary because he will miss most of the current congressional session due to campaigning. DeSantis asked that his resignation be retroactive to September 1st so that he would not be paid for this month. DeSantis is locked in a tight race against Democratic nominee Andrew Gillum.
After 18 years, the president of the University of South Florida is stepping down. President Judy Genshaft announcing her plan to retire this morning. She'll leave the school next summer. In a letter, Genshaft says it has been the honor of her professional career to be part of the journey at USF since 2000. According to USF, in those 18 years, enrollment has grown by 40%, while its graduation rate has tripled.
A follow-up now on what could be a revolutionary change in home building. Don Musilli is confident that 3D build systems will soon build homes with 3D printing technologies. He says the project is on track and the first home could be built on a lot in Sarasota County as early as the first quarter of next year. While new to the U.S., 3D construction has been used in Europe and in China, but local engineers and contractors are interested in the process. The homes will meet all of Sarasota County and Florida building codes.
Tomorrow it will be 17 years since the 9/11 attacks, and a special event will take place taking place today on the campus of USF Sarasota Manatee. Students, staff, faculty, and the community coming out this afternoon to place 2,977 American flags in the courtyard area of the campus. Each of those flags is for the lives lost during the terrorist attacks. School officials say this is the first year USF Sarasota Manatee is commemorating 9/11 in this way. The remembrance continues tomorrow on campus with a special event featuring speakers and a choir. That gets underway in the courtyard area of the campus at 8:20 tomorrow morning.
And looking ahead to tomorrow, there are other events across the Suncoast to honor those who lost their lives on 9/11. Northport Police hosting a Patriots Day ceremony from 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning at City Hall. The Manatee County Fire Chiefs Association will be hosting a memorial service to honor local emergency workers at 8:30 at the Bradenton River Walk. The City of Venice will be remembering victims and fallen heroes of 9/11 at Patriots Park from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And the Sarasota County Fire Department and Sheriff's Office will be holding a remembrance ceremony at Fire Station number 17 at 10 a.m.
Still to come in your Suncoast News today, in light of recent health scares on board airplanes, some tips to help travelers stay healthy while flying.
And a new perk for passengers on American Airlines flights. Those stories and more coming up.
You like to pay less. That's why you made Honda Accord the best-selling midsize car in America. Get the redesigned Accord, the North American Car of the Year, or Civic, a KBP.com Best Buy for less than the competition. Like SUVs and trucks? Get Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, CRV, the 8-passenger Pilot or Ridgeline truck for up to $4,240 less today at your local Honda dealer.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment, and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Most people getting ready for a vacation are thinking about what to pack and what they're going to do once they arrive in paradise. But they often fail to consider the health hazards they may encounter along the way. Reed Binion has a few tips to help travelers stay healthy on their next flight.
An airline cabin can double as a flying petri dish when not maintained properly. The enclosed space, recirculated air, and large numbers of people make planes prime breeding grounds for bacteria. The tray table, the place where passengers rest their food, was by far the most contaminated surface tested. It was followed by the overhead air vent, the lavatory flush button, and the seatbelt buckle. So what can travelers do to help fend off illness above cruising altitude? Carry antibacterial wipes and hand sanitizer. Wipe down tray tables, seatbelt buckles, armrests, and seatback pockets when you sit down. Hydrate. Because the air in the plane's cabin is recirculated, it contains less humidity than most people are used to. Choose a window seat. People who sit by the window have the smallest risk of infection because they have the least contact with other passengers. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, the showers and storms today, not many near the coast, most of it inland, pushing off toward the northeast. This frontal boundary is the culprit for our west wind. This front has come down over the southeast United States. Could have used it a little later. That would have kept Florence off the coast. But now, with this front here, it's going to weaken, fade away, and high pressure will build back in. And a lot of uncertainty remains in the future path of Florence. Just looking at all the different factors that are coming into play with Isaac, the disturbance over the Northwest Caribbean, and the high pressure ridge is expected to be a little stronger or weaker, depending upon what models you look at. So we'll keep an eye on it for you. Obviously, for us, this northeast wind or southwest wind will keep the storms moving in a northeast direction right now. Not much near the coast. We do have onshore flow that is bringing some of the harmful impacts of that red tide back toward the coast. Well, to say the tropics is going very active right now is an understatement for certain. We have a major hurricane, Florence. We have Isaac just holding on to hurricane status. And well off into the Atlantic, we have Helene, and this could be Joyce before long, or maybe this will be Joyce here in the Northwest Caribbean. All told, it looks like all these storms are going to stay away from us right now as far as that goes. Florence, the biggest concern, obviously this is the forecast as we look through time. It has gone from a weak system yesterday to a major Category 4 hurricane. Once again, it's done that twice now. It's gone through this rapid intensification. It's moving to the west-northwest at 13. The pressure is at 939 millibars. The forecast path and track take it up to close Category 5 hurricane tomorrow afternoon, and then it moves toward the coast. There's a little shear in the atmosphere expected right before landfall, but the water temperatures are still very warm here, so still a major Category 5 hurricane as it approaches the Carolina coast. And there could be a lot of changes to this too, depending upon those storms I mentioned, the one in the Northwest Caribbean and as well as Isaac. Well, there's the forecast from the Hurricane Center. A large bubble here means that they're uncertain in the last couple of days of the forecast. So day 4 and day 5, it could be within anywhere inside this large circle. It doesn't necessarily have to be here. And the hurricane force winds and the tropical storm force winds will be pretty wide-reaching. Now, as far as Isaac is concerned, it's moving off to the west. It looks like it'll be a Category 1 hurricane in the Lesser Antilles. So not a major hurricane, but still can cause a lot of problems. And then the forecast is for it to be downgraded to a tropical storm. But notice these forecast models. The UK Met actually missing the islands and heading off into the Atlantic, while others take it off through Cuba. This is a Canadian model right here, and Canadian models as well, different types of Canadian models, but all bend it off to the north. Indications are that that's what it will do. I wanted to show you this GFS forecast model and show you. This is the GFS, kind of keeps it offshore of the Carolinas, and then it moves it onshore. Again, it looks like right into the Carolinas and then brings it back down toward the coast as Isaac moves off to the northeast. So there's a lot of uncertainty, but right now the Hurricane Center is putting their bet on the European right now, I think mostly weighing heavily upon that. This system is expected to move off toward Texas. Boy, the impressive satellite imagery of Florence is just amazing right now. And nothing to worry about Helene. Helene's going to stay out there in the open waters of the Atlantic, it looks like. As far as boating goes for us tomorrow, winds will be out of the east, turning to the northwest at 5 to 10 knots. There'll be a light chop out there. The 7-day forecast then calling for a chance for late day storms tomorrow, a little bit better chance on Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll have to keep an eye on Florence as far as how it's going to change our weekend weather, but right now, a 30% chance. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. US 41 is a bit backed up in both the north and southbound lanes right now around the University Parkway intersection. Scott?
In consumer news, a new survey by the HR advisory firm Future Workplace reveals the most desired perks for office workers. And it's not all treadmill desks or napping pods. The #1 perk employees are looking for: natural light and views of the outdoors. This answer won out over other perks like on-site childcare, on-site cafeterias, or fitness centers. 43% of people reported feeling gloomy because of lack of light, while 47% have reported feeling tired from the absence of natural light or even a window, which sort of sounds like our newsroom.
Well, American Airlines is rolling out free live TV for its domestic passengers. The airline is flipping the switch on 100 domestic aircrafts to start, with plans to keep growing both live TV and high-speed internet to more than 700 of its planes next year. Passengers will be able to access the streams via their laptops, smartphones, or tablets, and they'll have 12 live TV channels to choose from.
The University of Florida has strengthened its ranking among the nation's top 10 public universities, rising to the #8 spot in the latest U.S. News and World Report Best Colleges list. UF remains the most highly ranked school here in Florida and the only university in the state in the top 10. UF was tied for #9 spot last year with the University of California, Irvine and University of California, San Diego.
And you know I wouldn't let you read that script without telling you where Carolina places on there. #5.
I knew you were going to bring it up. #5, really?
Yeah. So we both have pretty good schools up there.
We're catching up.
We're catching up. You guys did. You are. I'm impressed.
Entertainment news is next.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Investigate TV tackles the tough topics.
What happened to my life was awful.
When your health is compromised, we investigate.
They are really drug dealers in white coats.
Corporate greed exposed.
How do you trust them to run this program?
The powerful held accountable with in-depth journalism led by award-winning journalist Lee Zurich. We're your watchdog. Search Investigate TV on your Roku device. Download it now.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Singer-songwriter Olivia Newton-John battling cancer for the third time in 3 decades.
The 69-year-old revealing the newest diagnosis during an interview last night. She was first diagnosed with breast cancer back in 1992 and became an advocate for screenings. In 2013, she was diagnosed with a new breast cancer that spread to her shoulder. The third and most recent diagnosis was in 2017 for cancer at the base of her spine. Newton-John catapulted to fame after starring opposite actor John Travolta in the 1978 musical Grease. She will turn 70 years old in just a few weeks.
Well, Elton John kicked off his Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour in Pennsylvania this weekend, the first show of more than 300 planned across 5 continents. The performance featured some of the pop legend's biggest hits, including Benny and the Jets, Rocket Man, Tiny Dancer, and Philadelphia Freedom. The show also included never-before-seen photos and videos from his 50-year career. The 71-year-old will perform in front of over 6 million fans before his final tour concludes in 2021.
With a weekend Emmy win, John Legend is now the first African-American male to take home an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. That's called an EGOT or EGOT. Legend reached EGOT status, winning a Creative Arts Emmy at Sunday's ceremony in Los Angeles. Prior to this weekend, it was something only 12 people have ever achieved. And at 39 years old, he becomes one of the youngest winners to do that.
Well, Nia Franklin of New York is the new Miss America. The contest, historically known for its swimsuit competition, was reinvented last night, moving away from judging women on their appearance. ABC's Candace Gibson explains.
The 98th Miss America.
Nia Franklin, New York, you are Miss America 2019. Congratulations.
its crown, and that traditional walk down the runway. All icons of pageants past. Yet this year, the Miss America contest making a concerted effort to mix things up. Gone are the swimsuits, a staple for nearly 100 years. Instead, in its place, an onstage interview competition.
Society is obsessed with technology and social media. How can we improve our face-to-face communication skills?
Unfortunately, technology has made us dehumanize one another. We start to look at people as Democrats or Republicans, black or white. There's no gray area anymore, and that's really important in 2018. We're not just one kind of person. We're multifaceted, complex people, and the women on this stage, we represent that.
The person ushering in this new era is the organization's chairwoman and Miss America 1989 winner, Gretchen Carlson.
We're interested in what makes you, you.
Yet all these changes, not without controversy. At odds, the majority of state pageant organizations unhappy over the decision to scrap the swimsuit competition. And then there's the outgoing Miss America, North Dakota's Kara Mund, who says she has been systematically bullied, silenced, and marginalized by leadership, including Carlson.
I knew that I couldn't walk away from this year knowing that the next girl was going to come into it.
Officials, including Carlson, deny the accusations. Despite recent controversies, the 51 young women who vied for the crown staying focused. The winner with a new title and a $50,000 scholarship. Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Well, Miss Florida, Taylor Tyson, actually placed third runner-up last night for the title of Miss America. She receives a $15,000 scholarship as well as a $2,000 scholarship for winning the preliminary talent competition. Tyson has been accepted to Stetson University's College of Law. And, you know, I really thought it was going to be between her and Nia, who was the actual winner. So congratulations. Know. I do.
She's a UNC grad,
right? She was an ECU grad, but she is originally from North Carolina. Okay. So I've had the chance to see her compete before.
All right. We'll be right back.